2-1 back in third. Though that Timeform rating Hawkwing achieved when he won the Lockinge, that probably sits in there around about right. Sad news this week that after a wonderful racing career and a fantastic life in retirement, Flagship Uberalis has died at JP McManus's Martinstown stud, where he enjoyed a long and very happy retirement. He was notable for so many reasons. He won the Queen Mother Champion Chase. He won the Arkle and gave Paul Nicholls his first Cheltenham Festival success in so doing when he was ridden by Joe Tizard. He won Tingle Creek chases at 2 different venues for 3 different trainers, twice at Sandown, once rescheduled at Cheltenham, for Paul Nicholls, for Noel Chance, for whom he ran just a couple of times, and then for his final trainer, Philip Hobbs. He was owned initially by the interesting duo of Michael Gunter and Elizabeth Krzysztofiak, or Michael Krzysztofiak and Elizabeth Gunter, and subsequently by JP McManus, who enjoyed the final few years of his career. That was Flagship Uberalis, who sadly died this week, as I said, after a long and glittering career. One place where many racehorses see out their days being looked after quite beautifully is the Greatwood Centre, and I'm delighted to welcome their owner and director, Helen Yeadon, to the show now. Helen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nick. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk. It's very kind of you.
Not at all. We have been attempting in recent weeks to focus on many of the centres such as yours who look after horses, either sanctuaries or centres where horses are retrained, rehomed, but where racehorses go when their racing careers are finished. And we have been concerned as an industry that finances are not coming your way as they might. Just tell us how it's been.
Well, of course, you've been here, so you know exactly what it's all about here, don't you, and what we do. Well, first of all, I'm full of admiration for the way that the racing industry as a whole, the Racing Foundation and retraining of racehorses, stepped in unbidden pretty much straight away and immediately offered financial support, which, considering then that all our funds dried up, we lost our Newbury race day, which was, of course, and then our horse show here, which was then a net loss of 40,000 in one just hit. Of course, there are a lot more issues that are going on here, and, you know, I feel it almost that it somehow, you know, the things that we're suffering as well is nothing to what other people in the whole world are suffering. You see what I mean? It's just... It's pretty grisly for everybody, isn't it? But my thought all the way through is that we've survived. We've been going on for over a quarter of a century now, when Michael and I started it all those years ago. So, and I think that probably what you have to do is be proactive rather than reactive, and that's been our mantra all the way through. So, with regard to, I suspect, well, I know that there will be a severe mental health impact upon those in our local community and further afield. And therefore, I think it's a good thing that we'll expand upon our programmes that we do for emotional literacy. Funnily enough, our lead teacher had elected to he's just completing a 3-year course in mindfulness. We're already a accredited provider from Wiltshire Council that have just done a mental health and impact strategy. So we have referrals from GPs anyway. So I've spun it, if you like, this charity now to actually be concentrating on the mental health impact in our community, using these beautiful horses that we've got, 40 of them, idling away their sunny days in the field, thinking there's no point, you see, because I haven't been able to retrain, because there's no point. I'm not going to get anybody that's going to take them. Plus the fact I've furloughed some of the staff and made redundant other people's, thinking that actually we're not going to get into that retraining. So therefore, let's give these people a chance to find something else to do before everybody's trying to look for a position in October. That's my fear, I think, probably.
We're seeing some lovely pictures of Greatwood at the moment, and it just sort of serves to remind you, really, that the horses are in this lovely weather, long spring grass growing, having a lovely time.
Oh, well, they think that they're in heaven. I mean, I did field checks this morning, and they can hardly raise their wearisome heads off the pasture to gaze and think who's disturbing them. So so we're lucky, and I think that, as I say, I am grateful. I'm grateful to your call as well for thinking of us, and we've just got to soldier on, as indeed everybody has, as racing has.
What is great, Helen, is what you can see, of course, because it fills your heart when you see those horses looking so well and healthy. And I suppose what worries you is what you can't see, and what the hidden welfare implications might be for horses out of the back of this, and the knock-on effect.
Yes, of course. I mean, I've actually thought that to fit more horses in, I'm going to go back to almost the grassroots of sort of 25, 30 years ago. And one of the barns, I think you went, if you can remember, Nick, I've bulldozed down the stables,
right,
so that I can put them on deep litter. So I can roll through straw. I hate to see thoroughbreds out in the winter if I can help it, because we're on top of the hill, and there's a reason why it's called Rainscombe Hill Farm here. It's a devil in the winter. And of course, we've got dozens and dozens and dozens of Greatwood horses out on loan. So I've got to think that there could be financial constraints where other people can't afford to keep their horses, and they send them back to us.
So you're anticipating a significant influx of horses for this winter, both from those out on loan and horses who have fallen on hard times.
Absolutely. So and it's a real and apparent risk and danger. So I've done my risk assessment, put my head in my hands, and thought, well, oh dear.
So, but what you're saying is you're prepared to take more horses?
We would have to, I think, if the push came to shove. Well, one is we have no alternative. I mean, obviously, retraining of racehorses and the Racing Foundation have asked what we can take in, and I've said that can only be on how many horses may come back to us, which is dozens and dozens and dozens. So, and then that creates its own welfare issue, because you've got Greatwood horses throughout the country that have been away for many years. That it could be. I mean, luckily, so far, there's only one person that has said that they can't afford it, ironically a hairdresser. And we know why that is, because everybody's going around with very, very, very long unkempt hair now at the moment, aren't they? The lucky ones are, yeah. We've actually said that we would cover the cost of the livery, because he will get back to work, God willing that we get out of this, all of us in one piece. And so we will pay for the horse where he is, because he's happy, he's been there for years, he's loved and looked after beautifully, and it's cheaper for us than paying for the transport back and keeping him here for the length of time, and then finding another home, which could be next year after, or never.
Helen, it's fantastic that you are prepared to open your doors and to keep your doors open and to provide for those horses. Obviously, this is not a service that comes particularly cheaply. So if people want to support you some more, how do they do so? Well, we've I think probably get onto our website, and there's lots of buttons there, and it'd be great. Any donation, big or small, would be fabulous. And I must say that the racing industry as a whole has been incredibly generous and good to us throughout, for which I am immensely grateful. And I hope I pay back that generosity in some little degree by looking after these wonderful horses that give us so much pleasure. Well, each day you wake up, Helen, and do that, you are repaying the industry. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Nick, and thank you for your call today. Not at all. All right, thanks, and good luck to you. Thank you very much. And all your team. Keep your chins up. Thank you very much. Come back. Racing will come back. For your words of encouragement. That's what we want. The glass is always half full on this programme, and fingers crossed that the roadmap for June the 1st is met. Helen Yeadon there, the co-founder and managing director of Greatwood, and what great work they do.